Hello there. Saturday here. Da Joker chart. It's starting to look better, hasn't it? Over the last 9 months, starting to get up there. It's gone up 1% from -5 to -4. It's getting kind of parallel to the brown one. So in, what should we say, 18 months, 2 years maybe, it might even be back up. Unless something else happens, of course. But at least it's making efforts now. But still showing itself to be quite the worst unemployment recession type thing since the Second World War. One of the reasons for it is this chart from Ecom Browser, where you've got the zero line and anything that sticks up is positive, obviously, and this is government employment, local government employment, state employment, and the federal government employment, blue, red and green. And up till 2009 it was all sticky uppy, but since it's all been sticky downy, as in negative numbers, jobs being lost from local, state and federal. So the private employment is struggling against that background. So yesterday's performance was not bad at all. But there's quite a big but. Obviously there are more than one big, there are lots of buts, but this is one of the principal buts. Labour force participation rate is at a 28-year low. The numbers aren't huge here, but we're talking the entire population or working population of the United States, so the numbers are quite big. But 64%, 65%, 66%, 67% of people available to work were working up until the year 2000. But then it's come down from 67 to 66, 65, and now it's back down to 64. That is an awful big swatch of people that were potentially in the workforce before 2000. Since this century started, they've drifted out of the workforce. And for an overall economy, I would be thinking that you'd be wanting as many people in there doing as possible. But there are a load of people not doing here. Now, this next one is the labour participation rate for different age groups. And it's interesting that the blue line, which is aged over 55, since the 2000 has been on the up and up. And that's on the right-hand scale. And it's gone up from just over 32 to 40, so there's an 8% rise. I would think that's maybe skewed towards women. Older women are staying or working longer in the workplace, or entering the workplace later, or just being in the workplace. I'm not saying it is exclusively women, it's just an idea that came to me, but over 55s are working more in the labour force, and the young people are not. 16 to 54, they're coming down. Now I think this is going to be skewed towards the school age cohort, the younger people, and they're in the left-hand axis, coming down from 80 down to 75, so 5% less. So 5% less, and actually 7% more, but call them the same. But I think it's a lot of young people that aren't now in the participating in the labour force, and this is going to be, I think, crucial. A big story going forward for the rest of our lives is going to be, what are we going to get these young people to be doing? Because I think there are going to be a lot of older people filling a lot of positions that in the past the younger people will have filled, positions that the younger people will have filled. And as time goes on, more and more older people will be staying longer and longer in their jobs. In a way, there is going to be a generational battle. What I think must obviously happen is that the young must get them. Did I put the educated chart in? No, I didn't this time. But the young have got to, staying out of the labour participation at a younger age, and going to come in with more brains and ideas and know-how of how to do things, and that's going to be their advantage. But the ones without the new brain power advantage are going to be in direct competition with the older people for obviously things that young and old people can do. And it's going to be quite a battle, because there won't be the full percentage of the young people that will go for education and the brainy stuff, and there certainly won't be enough jobs, I wouldn't have thought, for all those brainy people. It's going to be quite a dynamic going on for United States of America and the Western world. Now, I've put this in, it's just grabbed from a list of news items. The Spanish jobless rate rises. Now, this came out at a similar time to the American jobless rate falling. Spain's unemployment increased 4.01%, or 177,470 to 4.6 million in January, from the prior month. Data released by the Labour Ministry showed Spain has the highest jobless rate in the 17-nation currency bloc, obviously the euro. But if you have a little thinky, this is what came to my mind. Everybody in the United States yesterday with the news release were getting all hard and excited about, what did they put on, 240,000, 250,000 or something jobs, which is good, great. But Spain, which is a teensy-wincy bit smaller than the United States, lost 177,500 jobs. Imagine. And that's putting them up to 4.6 million unemployed in Spain. And it's not a big country, and there aren't a lot of people in there. I think what I'd say would be, for us, as a story, strangely, I think that little Spanish story for the next 2 years is going to be a bigger story than the Americans putting on 240,000 jobs and having a good Joker chart. Because that could be the tin opener going in to the Eurozone. And if the tin opener goes in and starts working its way around the Eurozone, the whole world is going to be rather affected by that. But employment dynamics are obviously a mega important picture that has to be all put together. And as I say, I think it's the young people that are going to be one of the most important parts of that picture. Bon weekend. Bye.